What's up guys, this is Ninja Skier, and today I'm going to be comparing the two bolt-action sniper rifles in Black Ops 3. Now the sniper rifles I'm talking about are the Locust and the SVG-100. So the Locust stats are the damage is at 14, the range is at 14, and the fire rate is 3, and the accuracy is also at 14. So pretty consistent with those 14s right there, but then the SVG, the damage is up 2 from 14, so it is 16, so the damage is higher on the SVG. The range is the exact same for all of the snipers actually, so it's actually 14 for the Drakon, the Locust, the P06, and the SVG, so no change there in any of the snipers. Then the fire rate for the SVG is down 1, it is at 2, and then the Locust is at 3. But if you put rapid fire on either of these weapons, the fire rate goes up 2, so the fire rate will be at 5, and the SVG would be at 4, so still down 1 from the Locust. But then the accuracy is at 14 on the Locust, and then the SVG is down 1 at 13 on the Locust. So now I'm going to go into Nuketown, and I'm going to show you guys the difference in hipfire spreads for the two different snipers. Alright guys, so we just run a private match on Nuketown. We're going to stand right there in this little spot. We're going to aim at this wall, and we're going to start no-scoping. We're going to shoot 10 shots, and we're going to see all the spreads. So you can see the first two are off to the right, and the bottom right was on the left, or on the right one. This one is actually ballistic CPU, which increases the accuracy of the weapon. So I have that on this gun right here. And then we're going to be switching to the SVG with the ballistic CPU just to see the in comparison to the Locust. Alright, so now we have the SVG with the ballistic CPU, and we're going to see the difference between this one. We're going to shoot 10 shots just like we did with the Locust, and you can see the first two were pretty close to the center. The next couple shot up to the top, but then that one hit pretty much in the center, so we're going to shoot 4 more just to add up on 10. And so this one's a pretty, it's kind of up and down almost. There's not much off to the side. That is the spread, just kind of up and down. A few started disappearing, but now we're going to see the comparison of the guns without ballistic CPU. Alright, so now we are with the Locust with no ballistic CPU, and we're going to see the difference between the gun with the ballistic CPU on and with no on. So here's the spread. I'm shooting 10 bullets into the green, and then now we're going to switch into the SVG, and we're going to shoot it with no ballistic CPU just to see the difference. Alright, so now we have the SVG without ballistic CPU, and now we're going to see the hipfire spread. So the first one went way off. I don't even think it hit the green. And then the next 3 hit right in the middle. As you can see, a lot of them were hitting straight in the middle. We shot 6, and one of them went off to the right side, and then the rest of them went in the middle, which was pretty crazy. So without ballistic CPU, this one was overall a better choice than having a ballistic CPU on for the SVG-100. Alright, so now if you compare the spreads between the Locust and the SVG-100, the Locust, which is on the left, and this is the one with the ballistic CPU, you can see that it is pretty tightly compact. You had that one off to the bottom right that kind of made everything spread out wide. If we wouldn't have had that one, the spread would be pretty small, would be kind of be going on a diagonal range, but like it wasn't that big out of range. It was pretty close, pretty even, you know, consistent between in the middle and things like that. And then if you look to the right in the SVG-100 with the ballistic CPU, it was kind of up and down. You know, you had some up and downs, and I believe there was one off to the right that completely missed the green. So not 100% sure on that one, but I'm pretty sure there was that completely missed the green. So that wasn't very good. I'm not sure if I 100% recommend that for quick scoping with the CPU on the SVG-100, but I think I would recommend quick scoping for the Locust with the ballistic CPU because it has a higher fire rate and the spread isn't that big. Plus, you're not going to be no scoping as much when you're going to be quick scoping because you're going to be scoping in a little bit. Now, if we look to the second picture where we have the Locust with no ballistic CPU, you can see that the spread is a lot wider than any of the other ones pretty much. I think it is the widest one compared to all of them. So this one I would not recommend. I would recommend if you're going to use the Locust, definitely put ballistic CPU on it. It helps a ton. But look at this. This is kind of interesting. That SVG-100 with no ballistic CPU, look how small the spread is. The spread was super small. So I definitely recommend this SVG-100 with no ballistic CPU for trick shotting because it has a higher fire rate, so you're not going to get as many hit markers with the gun, and it has a small spread, and so you're going to be able to hit your target that you're aiming for, and it's just going to be a lot more accurate when you're trick shotting. So overall, I would definitely use the Locust with ballistic CPU for quick scoping and other things like that, and just regular sniping, but I would definitely use the SVG with no ballistic CPU for trick shotting. So
Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the sniper comparison between the SVG-100 and the Locust on Black Ops 3. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did, and make sure you guys subscribe for more Black Ops 3 content. Peace.